even though we had neighbors, house sitting and all that, we kind of have a remind that you tell it all when you get back and you keep your mouth shut while you're gone. Right. So I would just alerted you that I wouldn't be there. But I noticed you still put it in the newsletter. I'm like, oh, I hope he remembers.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I always forget.
Okay. So shout out to Rotary, Jeremiah. Here we go. So we try to raise money with Rotary and do all those things, and we sell raffle tickets.
Jeremiah, you can come join us too, by the way. Come sit down.
Jeremiah needs to come corroborate my story here. So we raise money with our main event every year, and we sell raffle tickets for different kinds of prizes and things. We used to give away Visa gift cards, and we had new leadership, and they came up with a program where you could win a coupon for a few nights, and they had these different places that you could go. And I wasn't sure about the change, and I was talking to my Aggie agent, who's also been a Rotarian for decades, about what do you think about that shift from like putting cash in people's hands to coupons? And he's like, didn't you win that once when your kids were both in college? And I'm like, yes. Zip it, buy your tickets, go to the event, get on down the road, you're not on the border, it's fine. I won.
Nice.
I won, which was like, oh. And so you could pick from the different places that they had on the list. They had Jamaica. We aren't tropical people. We don't do third world countries. You could go to Kentucky. We lived there. It was for whiskey and bourbon. We don't drink whiskey bourbon. You could go to Sedona. I'm a Sun Devil. Done Sedona. Whatever the little things were. So 6 nights in Tuscany is what we chose.
Nice.
And it takes a pile of money to get there, but they give you 6 nights at the place with a couple little outings. I'd never been to Italy. I did my exchange in Barcelona, and of course, because my husband grew up in France, we've been there twice, see family and all that kind of thing. And so I did it, and then on the back side of it, because we flew in and out of FCO, I wanted to do 3 days in Rome, and I love the Gothic cathedrals of Europe. I loved it when I was a kid. I'm there for it. Basilicas, come on, we're going this way. The whole, if I could figure it out how to go see Notre Dame after being reconstructed. I mean, this is stuff that my kids, my family knows. I mean, my husband's into it too, but we go somewhere and it's like, oh, look, they have a cathedral. Let's walk this way.
Yes.
Anyway, so I knew I wanted to go there. And I know that my husband gets a little whiny about me dragging him around all over everywhere.
As you should.
Yes. So I picked the Verbo pretty close that looked like it'd be okay, right, kind of close to that, because we're going to go see the Sistine Chapel. We're going to do that. And so Pope Francis got ill, and he was in the hospital, and Alan, my son, and I were discussing. He's like, oh, man, by morning he's going to be be I'm like, that's terrible. And then he rallied, and I'm like, you go for 88 years old, full-time work, like look, rock star, look at this guy and everything. And then he did the thing for Easter, and you're like, wow.
And then they brought J.D. Vance in.
He passed away on Easter Monday, Ascension, blah blah. So that was very sad. So I thought, okay, that's terrible. Here comes the conclave.
Right.
Now they're camping out my Sistine Chapel, but okay. It is what it is. We get to go on this trip, so we go do Cortona. Lovely. Had a great time. Assisi. Oh, if you ever get to go to Assisi. Oh, my goodness. Amazing. My husband's middle name is Francois for Francis,
for a reason, right.
Francis of Assisi.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was delightful. Went to a couple other places, and so then it was time. So we go to Rome, and we get there, and he's crying that the Verbo's on a hill, but we're going to get there. He despises the crush of high tourism places for the pickpockets and all that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, let's go this way. So we walk by the Pantheon, and it's like Times Square when stuff's going on. I mean, it's just a crush of tourists. And now he's really cranky.
Now he's really upset. I love it.
And so I'm like, we got to keep going. And he's like, further? It's warm. I'm like, come on, I want to go to the Trevi Fountain. I really want to go to the Trevi Fountain.
Yeah.
And so we got over there, and then he lightened up because, of course, Dolce Vita and all those things. It's supposed to be great luck. Still a lot of people, but okay. And so then we walked back like a block above, and I can't say the name of that road, right? But it's kind of like Rodeo Drive. It's where all the houses, all the fashion houses are above that. So it's much more low-key. Okay, now the crankiness is coming down. Things are good, better. And so we came in the back way. So we had to walk around Vatican City to get back down to our Verbo. And as you come up on the Vatican, there are TVs and people sitting out. And so we're taking it in, and it's the watch party because they all have the TVs on the smokestack.
By the way, you walked in the
daily,
Via dei dei Cantati.
No, it starts with a B.
Oh.
Bugnier.
Oh, okay.
Bugnier. I can't say
Okay,
that.
all right, sorry.
I'll learn that and report back. So as we come down the side, there are people sitting around and they're looking at TVs. And what are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at the smokestack. Yep, we're going to have daily votes. Black smoke, we're still deciding. White smoke, we got it done. So we're like, okay, well, that's kind of cool to watch people be excited about it. And so we make our way around. When we get back up the hill, get inside, sit down. It's cool. Like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to go somewhere? Are we, what are we doing? Because we're kind of spent. It's a 2.5-hour drive from Cortona.
Yeah. And
then I walked them around. So we're kind of feeling a little spent. It's a lot warmer because that last day in Cortona, we went to Montalcino and it didn't get above 59. And then we get to Rome and it's like 79. Like, so it's a little contrast. 100 in Texas. I'm like, how's that going to work? Anyway,
yeah, right.
So we're finding little news bits to watch. And all of a sudden, I hear the bells and they're really loud because we're close. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's 10 after. What bells ring at 10 after?
Right.
So he gets the little news thing, pulls it on his phone. He goes, we have white smoke. I'm like, oh my goodness.
So
it's
you
happening.
ran.
Right, I ran. Yeah, because he's like, I'm like, you come in, he's like, I am cooked. Like, like I'm going to stay right here. And I'm like, okay. So I go running down the hill and you can see St. Peter's Basilica there and, getting across the street. And you've got, the Vatican has like 6 different kinds of police.
Yeah.
There. Like there's all kinds of different things going on. And so you're running and you see the crush of people and they're all trying to make their way into, St. Peter's Square. And so I am a little claustrophobic and I don't know exactly what the vibe's going to be as they're running people through security. So I get up on a perch where I can just barely make out a sliver of the TV on one side and I can see the people in there. And then I became the speaker for the police because they were getting really angry at people that were trying to get in and trying to get out and they're pushing people off. And these people came, they were Asian, but they spoke great English. And he's trying to explain things to them and they're not understanding. And they're like, I said, excuse me, he's telling you, if you leave, you get to get in this line back here that's now a mile long.
Oh,
with
my gosh.
50 people across trying to get through to get in. And she's like, oh, okay, we'll stay inside.
All right.
So we had a little bit of that going on. And so I'm hanging out watching these guys try and people are showing up with like really important credentials that they like work at the Vatican, whatever. You go around, you get in line, you go through the deal. And then when they make the announcement, habemos papam, everybody leaves their post and everyone just goes inside. I'm like, well, then I go inside too. So I jump over and get in there. And so I was in there where I could see the TV. I was in front of the fountains and I could see the deck. And I've kind of got goosebumps and chills about the whole thing because I'm like, what a historic thing to fall at my feet.
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't plan, I was going for Sistine Chapel, which isn't going to happen. But I'm like, I can't believe that I'm really here and this is happening at my feet. I've got a little bit of tears, but I'm texting my son because the cell phone bandwidth crashed there for a second. There are too many people, so I'm like, it's happening. We have a new pope. I'm here, and he's like, oh, take lots of pictures, and then that was the last that we could actually send to each other. So I get in there, and I'm there, and then all of a sudden the Italians are like, what? Americano? No. I mean. Yeah, and they're kind of freaking. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is our first American pope, and I'm standing here, and it's happening.
That's incredible.
It was just like, really, so it kept my mouth shut, of course. But people were like not super happy about that because there was that one Filipino guy that was kind of way out in front, as the favorite.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is that going to happen?
Right.
This would be so interesting.
That was going to be historic too.
Yeah. So you don't know exactly what's going on. And then they always want Italian. Yeah. They'd be very clear. The Italians want Italian. Anyway, so I'm like, I can't believe it's really happening. Mm-hmm. And then he comes out and they make the announcement and all the naysayers that were griping are all just like, Papa. Everyone's like, round of applause, rock star. Like,
that's amazing.
They all on a dime turned and everyone was like full, happy, going crazy.
Were there a lot of Americans there too? Or were you like one of the few then?
I'm sure there were Americans dispersed out there, but I didn't find anyone. I mean, I was clearly in a group of Italians.
Right.
Like, no question.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. So, I was shell shocked.
And what was your husband? Like, how far away was he?
He's back at the Verbo. It's
Okay. He's given up.
Oh,
yeah, no, he didn't even like
Oh,
drug
wow.
me around everywhere, and my body's killing me, and you want me to run to the Vatican? No.
How many miles do you think you got in? Because I'm just looking at the I'm trying to look at the map here.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I was right there. I was at 7C Aurelia de Mura, which is where the wall comes around on the other side. I couldn't have been more than 400 yards from the gate, I think.
Wow.
Maybe 500. By the time I got up, ran down the hill, because there's not a crosswalk there.
Yeah.
And so some people were getting in trouble earlier in the day. Well, forget that. People, they're all. But the gates and the separation and the armed guards and this kind of police and that kind of police and all that.
And your foot held up pretty well, huh? From all that.
No, I did well. The only issue I had that day was I wore these little walking tennis shoes, little platform, little kids kind of things, all over Cortona because it gets very slippery when it gets wet. It's all little stones, and Italy is up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So I was trying to be cautious. And when we got to Rome and it was hot enough, I got a little bit of a blister just because my feet were sweating because it was 20-some degrees warmer than it had been the day before. But yeah, no, it was.
What a story, though.
It was so thrilling. It was so thrilling. I can't explain how.
Are you guys Catholic? I mean, I know you.
So I am not a confirmed Catholic.
Yeah.
My husband's his grandfather's uncle was the Archbishop of Strasbourg. Very sour feelings after the war.
Yeah.
Like they weren't real happy with the church and things. And his grandfather wrote Pope Pius, whatever that would have been in the 30s. Is that 11, 13? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, he actually wrote and changed the rules for taking communion on Sundays with the Pope back and forth about you couldn't eat before. Well, the kids, they get so hungry and whatever. Okay, then we'll change what we'll do. You can't eat 2 hours before communion.
Right.
Had all those letters that have been lost in the deal. But then my son Alan is confirmed. He went to OLH. Mm-hmm. My other son and I are not confirmed, but Mike Boulette, who we just love, baptized them both.
Wow, nice. Well done.
That was in our mix. So we know lots of Catholics.
Yeah.
And we hang with them.
But it was like one of those moments too, like no matter what your faith is, like Jeremiah, you'd be there, right? You'd be watching this. You'd be walking through there, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been there actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking
Beautiful.
about.
Yeah.
How long ago?
4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wow.
And so which direction did you come into St. Peter's Square from like the Vatican City, St. Peter's Square is kind of at the bottom of Vatican City on a north-south perspective.
Yeah, we came through St. Peter's Square. And when you walk, and then you walk up, and then the
So you came from the downtown Rome side?
I believe so.
Okay, because we were directly under. So ours was more of a cross thing. So as you walk from I guess that would be the east side, you were coming in, and it's kind of that open half circle.
Yeah, it's all
And you've got the two fountains.
Yep.
Okay, so I got in front of the fountains.
Oh wow.
And then just slightly to the left because I came in from the left side as you face the front of the square.
So what happened after you saw you saw the smoke and everyone's going crazy, and did you like look at it?
There for a while.
Did you get a cappuccino and then go home?
It was getting to be nighttime because it was like 6:10 when I heard the bells. Yeah. So by the time he came out and did his thing, it was probably pushing 8 o'clock, and of course the Frenchman was starving in the Verbo.
Yeah.
So as soon as they started to break free, like they were going to leave, I got out in front of him and went to that main, the Fazio or whatever that main road is coming out that direction, and stopped in a pizza place and said, "Just give me some of those pieces in a box, and I'm going to get up the hill and out of here because there's going to shortly be." An
angry Frenchman.
No, but I just, there were tens and thousands of people in St. Peter's Square.
Oh, yeah, they're
going to
make the run
know which
for
way
it.
they're going to come out.
Right.
And I know which way I'm going. So we'll run over that way. And because these establishments are going to do very well here in about an hour.
Yeah.
Because all these people are going to be coming in this direction. So I got
God, what a story.
I got some, tired pizza that, of course, was fine with him. Like,
what an exciting
4 or 5 kinds in the box.
Food.
Let's go get the deal. Let's run up the hill and we'll be great. But yeah.
Now, when you take your husband out to places, and I've seen him in action before. Mm-hmm. Like, does he pin down every chef that's out there? Does he want to go back in the kitchen and see what's going on back there, or is he just kind of?
No, I mean, it depends on what's going on. I mean, he's always looking at the table service. We always have a conversation. It used to drive me crazy when we started dating, but now I've kind of been indoctrinated. And he just kind of looks at the food and the setup and what people are serving or not serving, or he can look at a menu and go, I don't want to go here. I'm like, okay, let's just keep going, kind of thing, right? So
that's the way to do it then. So he's an expert.
Yeah, I mean, he's like.
I love this story.
If they put things together and it doesn't make sense, then he doesn't want to go there because he doesn't think they know what they're doing, because that doesn't make sense that you put that anyway. So whatever. However, it'll be fun. But yeah, no, it was literally a monumental, historic event that means something to me that absolutely fell at my feet.
That's amazing. Just fell right there. Just saw it right there.
I just got into Rome. So then I thought, now,
right.
Pope.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the Sistine Chapel.
Right.
I bought the tour for the next day. In the afternoon, I'm like, I'm getting in. And then the lady was like, oh, they build platforms and put in a subfloor so that everyone's together. Because as you walk through the Sistine, there's lots of up and down and stairs.
Yeah.
And so they build in this platform and they put all these desks so that they face each other for the conclave. And they have a little bit of a manana attitude about building, and even more so about taking down.
So it's still
no
closed.
chance I was getting in there.
In fact, on the map, I'm looking at the map right now. It still says it's closed. So
if it took them over a week to put it together, it's going to be a couple weeks before they take it down and get it out of there.
That's outstanding. Outstanding.
It was
what a story.
It was a very
congratulations. I saw your video and I was like, oh, I was like going to call you, but I was like, oh, it's going to be like some weird time. She's probably traveling. I was so captivated by it.
And so that was kind of the event, because I would never post anything showing that we're not around.
Yeah.
Except that was like a historic event. Yeah. So that was it was really, and that everybody who was bickering just on a dime was so
changed
joyous.
It. Yeah. Changed everything.
Just like on a dime.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Actually, so he's not Italian, but he's Italian. He's got some Italian roots. Father, the Leo XIV, and what's interesting is that Pope Francis was actually, even though he was from Argentina, his parents were Italian. And so
are many people. In Argentina.
So they broke the streak there. I guess for a little bit.
John Paul was Polish. John Paul II, that was that was very
Pope,
the traditional.
The Pope between him and Francis, Pius. Mm-hmm. He was
Benedict,
German.
You mean?
Yeah, Benedict. Oh, there you are still. Yes. Yeah. All right.
Benedict was.
Yeah. All right. This is a great story.